The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Chiki Verhel. Vaccinations of the country's delegates for the Tokyo Olympics and Southeast Asian Games have just kicked off. At this very moment, athletes and coaches are receiving COVID-19 shots at the Manila Prince Hotel. This move was approved by the IATF upon the request of the Philippine Olympic Committee. That's in line with the no vaccine, no participation policy implemented by Vietnam, the host of the 2021 SEA Games. Health authorities are getting to inoculate 700 or targeting to inoculate 700 Vietnam and Tokyo-bound athletes today. The FDA is now looking into allowing the use of Pfizer shots on young Filipinos aged 12 to 15. But for the health department, this may not happen soon since supplies of the brand are still limited. Jen Calimon with the report.
Anna Vitug, a mother of 3, makes sure basic health protocols are being followed even inside their home. She says this is for the safety of her children during this pandemic.
But maaari po hindi po muna kami nagyayakapan or kiss.
Pero, opo.
Ava has already registered for vaccination against COVID-19, but she hopes COVID shots will also be available to her children. At the very least, for her 12-year-old daughter, Hailey, her wish may soon come true. The Food and Drug Administration looks to amend the emergency use authorization of Pfizer vaccines so that minors aged 12 to 15 may be inoculated. United States, United Arab Emirates, and Canada recently started administering Pfizer doses to this age group. Top-line results from clinical trials showed 100% efficacy among participants with or without prior COVID infection, as well as robust antibody responses. Adverse reactions also said to be well tolerated.
I already got the recommendations of our experts and it's very favorable. So within the week po, we will be issuing an amendment to the emergency use authorization of Pfizer.
But for the health department, inoculation for teenagers may not happen anytime soon. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III says vaccine supplies are still insufficient, which means high-risk groups still need to be prioritized.
Dahil kulang na nga tayo, dapat ay talagang itulak natin ang mabilisan bakunahan para sa mga senior citizens, no? A2 and A3, no? At A1 naman halos kompleto na tayo. Ang kailangan ngayon, A2. Yan ang kinakailangan talaga isulong natin dahil diyan po galing ang mga na-ospital na talagang sila po ang nabibiktima ng nakamamatay na komplikasyon.
Meanwhile, President Rodrigo Duterte warns local officials demanding exclusive supply of Pfizer vaccines.
When you begin to be selective, the others will also begin to be agitated about the potency na pareho naman sana sa iba. They will also demand Pfizer. How about the other Filipinos from the Visayas to Mindanao?
Duterte previously ordered LGUs not to announce vaccine brands ahead of inoculation to push a brand-agnostic policy. Over 1 million Filipinos have so far been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 since the vaccine rollout began. Reporting for News 5, Jen Calimon, we are One News.
Some countries are getting creative and coming up with vaccination incentives, from offering free booze to certain perks in dating apps. But the Philippines is no exception. Camille Samonte tells us how certain LGUs are incentivizing constituents to get the jab.
Michelle is always exposed to a lot of people as she manages her own small store in her neighborhood. She knows the danger of contracting COVID-19 due to crowding and poor observance of protocols.
Natatakot ako. Hindi ako sigurado sa sa kaligtasan. Baka may mga side effect.
Vaccine Star Carlito Galvez said many residents of poor communities are hesitant to get vaccinated. With this, some LGUs are now offering raffle prizes for vaccinees. In Barangay Sucat, Muntinlupa City, 20 residents could win a 25-kilogram sack of rice. Those who got their first dose can already join the raffle as they only need to present their vaccination card. They will draw the raffle every Sunday and announce the winners online.
Nababagalan kami at gusto natin mapabilis yung pace ng vaccination process. Kaya nag-isip kami ng isang ideya o gimmick na pwede namin silang ma-hit, no? Sila yung kadalasan indigent, no?
Some residents appreciated their LGU's effort in enticing them to get the jobs.
Masaya at protektado na, baka may chance pa ako manalo.
Over in San Luis, Pampanga, the LGU is raffling off a cow every month. Mayor Jason Sagum believes this will somehow help them achieve a 100% vaccination rate.
May problem tayo dun sa yung vaccine hesitancy ng mga Pilipino. Ma-attain ko yung objective ko, nag-isip ako ng strategy.
Interior Secretary Eduardo Año suggested free rides to vaccination sites as well. In a previous interview with One News Now, DOSC's Dr. Jaime Montoya noted that other countries are also incentivizing vaccination.
We want really to achieve herd immunity at the soonest time possible. So we have to do everything possible in order to make this happen.
For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
Over in the U.S., a California transit employee killed 8 of his co-workers. The attack happened at a light rail yard near San Jose City's main airport. Authorities, however, did not discuss further details, including the possible motive for the shooting. The gunman also took his own life. This is the latest of a spate of deadly mass shootings in the U.S., prompting California's governor to ask, what the hell is wrong with the United States?
It begs the damn question, what the hell's going on in the United States of America? What the hell's wrong with us? And when are we going to come to grips with this? When are we going to put down our arms, literally and figuratively, our politics, stale rhetoric, finger pointing, all the hand-wringing consternation that produces nothing except more fury and frustration, more scenes like this repeated over and over and over again.
Meanwhile, the Philippine Embassy in the U.S. confirms that one of the victims in the California shooting was a Filipino. The Philippine Consulate General in San Francisco says it's ready to extend appropriate assistance to the victim's family. Some lawmakers are eyeing 4 pilot areas for the implementation of the proposed hybrid election system in the 2022 polls. Senator Amy Marcos is sponsoring the proposed measure as the chairman of the Senate Electoral Reforms Committee. Under the bill, the polls will be done through a combination of the automated and manual election systems to, quote, ensure the transparency and credibility of the electoral process. Senator Sani Angara questioned if the bill can still be implemented given that the next elections are fast approaching. Marcos said they can just test the new system in 4 areas, particularly 2 rural and 2 urban, just to get it started. If found to be effective in improving the transparency of the polls, Marcos said they can launch the system nationwide come 2025.
Be live streaming at the precinct, at the polling place. And this can be shown and used as evidence by the accredited parties and NGOs of the COMELEC. At the same time, we are thinking that the manually generated ERs can also be screenshot, for lack of a more sophisticated techie term, and sent to the transparency server, the MBOC, the provincial and the national board of canvassers. There's even been a recommendation that the Congress as well as the Senate and even perhaps Malacanang would like to have its own server as well. The issue of transparency, because our voters, I suspect for reasons that are understandable because our technology is so faulty, do not trust the machines and would prefer to see their own teachers totting up the numbers of the votes physically. Nakikita talaga nila, kung alam ninyo, maski sa Aurora siguro, parang piyesta yan. Lahat pupunta para sa bilangan. The other issue is the lack of evidence because the generation of the VCM, and we are entirely dependent upon the SD cards, and when they don't work, in actual fact, human interference comes into play because so many times the SD cards didn't work in 2019, if you recall, and then they had to be manually punched in at the municipal level kasi hindi nga nag-work yung mga SD.
Those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Chicky Verhel. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.